They called the ambulance. They had me on a ventilator. They found out I had COVID. Then they found out I had pneumonia. Then they found out I had the C word.
The tale of Vietnamese-American rapper Kid Trunks and his rise from social media outcast to becoming the self-proclaimed best Asian rapper alive, well, it's one that's taken some startling twists and turns over the years, especially in recent weeks. Now, not only did this underdog story nearly come to an end when Trunks attempted to take his own life, now that's only days before the release of his studio album, which was titled Moon, but since then he's seen things go from bad to worse. Now, in the early stages of 2022, well, Kid Trunks, he would reveal that he's been diagnosed with cancer. Not only that, but a few weeks later, he'd post an image of himself badly injured, insinuating that he had barely survived being shot. But here's the thing, Kid Trunks is definitely lying about at least one of those things. Do you know which one? Well, if so, drop that answer in the comments down below. For everyone else, well, stay tuned to our latest edition of Where Are They Now? Kid Trunks was born Meng Nguyen on July 4th, 2000 in Ho Chi Minh City, which is in South Vietnam. At the age of just 2 years old, well, he and his family, they immigrated to the United States, and they would split their time between living in Miami and Boston during his childhood. Now, eventually the family, they finally settled in Broward County, Florida, where Trunks grew up in a single-parent household as the youngest of 3 siblings. Now, it was here that he attended high school and he had to deal with a serious case of being bullied and harassed. Short in stature and only one of a handful of Asian kids in school, well, Trunks was teased relentlessly. But he's happy he went through these difficult experiences as a kid because they made him more considerate of other people's feelings in turn. Even with that being the case, however, well, Trunks had hate tattooed across his face as a reminder of all that he went through.
Oh yeah, you think you're black, you think you're this, you think you're that, like, you're stealing people culture, and I'm over here like, I was just going with the flow. I ain't have nothing to say.
Eventually, Trunks, he was sent to an alternative institution thanks to some bad behavior at school. Now, soon afterwards, he would meet rapper XXXTentacion at the age of 15. Now, these two quickly became good friends and started creating music with one another, and soon enough, X, he would welcome Trunks into his members-only crew. And at that point, well, he adopted the hip-hop moniker of Kid Trunks, and that's a nod to his favorite character from Dragon Ball Z. Following the release of his debut single, Talk, well, Kid Trunks' public presence exploded as his social media followers, well, they increased by leaps and bounds. Now, only a few months later, he dropped his mixtape, The Kid Before Trunks, in September of 2017, and he'd follow that up with the single, IDK, in April of 2018. That's alongside 2 further mixtapes in SS1 and Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan? Super Saiyan. I didn't watch any Dragon Ball Z growing up, and I just revealed that to everyone. How embarrassing. But with so much happening so quickly, well, there was bound to be some side effects. For one, Trunks began to spend thousands of dollars a week on drugs. Now, this would kick off a spiral of depression and anxiety that he'd attempt to wrestle and control over by working out these issues on his debut studio album, Moon. Now, this dropped in June of 2020. Now, the album would see Trunks speaking openly about the idea of ending his own life. Then, only weeks before the album would see release, well, he acted upon those ideas and he attempted to actually kill himself. When speaking with the New Times over the phone, well, Kid Trunks, he would reveal, "I've been dealing with depression and anxiety my whole life. I didn't care at first, I had less responsibilities, I just go to a party and get effed up. And everything was cool, but as I got older, it got a lot worse because I got hit with a lot of life things and had more responsibilities. But I really didn't have suicidal tendencies ever. That was the first and last time I ever do anything like that." Now, it's unclear how Trunks attempted to end his life. God, sorry guys, this is sad. But afterwards, he was intent on learning from the experiences and growing as a person. Now, sadly, things didn't really work out that way because only a couple of years later, well, Trunks, he would make some equally big blunders, things that are just as bad. Now, it began in the early stages of 2022 over on social media. A post that Kid Trunks' Instagram profile would cause his fans to worry that he'd actually passed. Now, the rumor was sparked by an image of Trunks alongside X, which had a caption that read, LLT LLJ MO4L. Now, what does that stand for? Well, many people took it to mean long live Trunks, long live Jose, members only for life. Now, for those not familiar, we'll just say is X's first name. And when Trunks fans saw that image paired with the caption, well, they were certain that Trunks had passed away. Now, shortly thereafter, the rapper, he would appear on Instagram Live and reveal that his social media account, well, it had been hacked, which is why that image had apparently been posted. Now that being said, Will Trunks revealed that he still had something of a near-death experience and he wanted to share that with his followers. Now, in a text-based image posted later, Will Trunks would reveal that while being checked out for a possible COVID infection, well, the doctors instead found that he was suffering from lung cancer. But things didn't stop there. Now, only 2 months later, Kid Trunks would once again hop on Instagram, this time to reveal a graphic picture of himself in a hospital bed, bleeding from a significant gash across his lower face. Now, although Trunks did not specify exactly what happened at the time, he implied that the injury was a result of gun violence, and the caption it read, "Put the guns down, man, this is real out here. Also, everyone, please move accordingly and militant everywhere, and you go be safe, but most importantly, stay dangerous." Bit of a mixed message there to be sure. Now, things only got weirder when others clued into the fact that hours after publishing this image, Will Trunks was seen on a FaceTime call with none other than Noah Cyrus, in which his hair, well, it was a totally different color from the image in the hospital, leaving, well, many followers confused. What I'm confused about is why Noah Cyrus is so in with these kind of people. Anyway, now people, they began to wonder if Kid Trunks was actually lying, and it turns out, well, he was. Months after announcing his cancer diagnosis and insinuating he had been shot in the face, well, Kid Trunks came clean with the truth. He had lied about both experiences. Well, kind of. Now, to start with, he was most definitely lying about being shot. Now, he says that around the time he made the decision to imply that he was injured, well, he was doing some very impulsive things thanks to a drug addiction. So what happened to cause that injury? Well, according to Kid Trunks, well, he had a seizure in the hospital while wearing a COVID mask with a metal string that popped out and it cut open his face. Now that's a possibility, I suppose, although after everything else this dude has claimed, well, it's hard now to believe anything he says. He did admit over Instagram, "I felt like my career was going down. I felt like I wasn't getting as much love as I used to be. They say clout is a hell of a drug, but drugs is a hell of a drug. I felt that me lying about getting shot would work on my behalf, which it didn't. And honestly, that was probably the stupidest thing I've ever effing done. Yes, I was clout chasing. I will admit that." All right, you gotta give the guy credit. It happens. I understand where he's coming from. I'm in this entertainment business. It's very up and down, and I see where he's coming from, so I can forgive him. But now let's talk about the lung cancer. Now, as it turns out, he wasn't being entirely honest about that one either. While he insists that he does indeed have cancerous tumors in both the chest and the brain, it's not lung cancer as he originally stated.
About the cancer, I have a abscess growing in my chest and in the back of my brain that is cancerous. So the one thing that I did lie about is having lung cancer. I don't have lung cancer. I have a cancerous abscess.
Kid Trunks would continue by promising that he's not trying to make excuses for his actions, but he's going through a lot in his life at the moment, both mentally, spiritually, and physically. Now, as for that drug problem that he hinted at, well, according to him, he's not actually addicted to his drug of choice, which is Percocet. Now, he ended things in appropriately confusing fashion where he stated, "The only thing I definitely didn't lie about is having 2 near-death experiences in the last 3 months. I definitely had that, I just lied about what happened." I guess that kind of begs the question as to what actually did happen. But at this point, would anyone even believe this dude if he finally told the truth? I know, I'd be having a hard time. It's like the boy who cried wolf. It's gonna take him a long time to build back up to any level of trust with not only the general public, but especially with his fans. I do still feel bad for him though. You know, he was part of members only. Those kids were going to the top. And I'm sure, yeah, it's gotta hurt when you don't make it there. As for the rest of the story for Kid Trunks, well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. We do send our best wishes his way, and we hope for the best. All right, guys, I'll see you in another video. That's it.